Oh, no, Henry deserves to go to a farm upstate, and
That is not right, Josh.
last night,
You have lots of love in your heart. Find some love for Henry too.
so the baby was awake all night, and then Henry woke us up at like 3:30 for who knows what, because he wanted to go spend 20 minutes in the yard, and then as soon as he gets settled and we all get back to bed, Ezra comes in our room and tells us he peed in his bed. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Anyways, hey Gustavo,
Hey, good morning. How are you doing today?
doing well. How are you?
He didn't sleep.
That's fine.
Why? What happened?
Just kid and other kid, and then dog, and just typical family sleep drama.
One thing after the next. Hopefully, you'll get some sleep today.
Yeah, that's the dream, and it's still gray and gross over here in Austin. So eventually it'll get better.
You you dislike the overcast, I think, more than I do.
Yeah, so I was fine with it until a couple years in Portland, and then I have like, and I was even okay with it in Portland, but then once I got out of it, I'm now like triggered back to Portland whenever we have some days like this. So,
It's
you know,
not hot and
yeah, that's nice.
and it's longer, hopefully, till we're fully in a drought.
Yeah, so that's good. Small wins. Um, yeah, so my day yesterday was little all over the place. Getting a little permitting work done to convince the rest of the company that I still do something around here, and little PR review. Got some React Native infrastructure stuff tinkered with. Thank you for all your help with that, Gustavo.
You're welcome.
And today my plan is review the PRs that came in last night, address any feedback on new PRs, or any feedback on my existing PRs, and then move over to QAing the React Native app and finding bugs. So that is my plan. Catherine, you asked why a relation preloaded details and fields, and I didn't know, and then I knew, and then I gave an explanation. But did that explanation make any sense?
I don't even remember an explanation.
All right, I'm going to share my screen.
I'm sorry. I do remember the question.
This is a good uh, learning opportunity and cementing knowledge in my head opportunity. Can you see my screen?
Hmm.
All right. So when we're in here and we're sorting buildings, let's go through and sort, and we can sort them by custom fields. Okay.
Yeah,
And so then when we do that,
we have to have that.
like we want to show you what you're sorting by, because otherwise it's just sort of confusing and like, are these things sorted right? I don't know. And so then we pull in the details in the fields. And so I ended up just passing to the relation whether or not we should include those, whether we should include the other associations, which we know in the controller based on the filters.
Cool.
So,
Cool. I'm with you.
all right. So that's that. Over to you, Catherine.
I got a lot of permitting stuff pushed out to production yesterday. That was exciting. Thank you, Josh.
Mhm.
And thank you also for doing the work to split up that query. That was good. And then I decided that deleting things for David is something David can do himself. So I put in a couple PRs for that. I did try to keep it very conservative in terms of like, I'm just putting it for super user and like all of the dependencies have to not exist and all of that.
Yep.
So hopefully that is all okay, Josh. I just sort of figured like the safest way would be a good first step. And then if we wanted to do something else, we could expand that later.
That's great.
And yeah, and I had to recreate 2 PRs because I had gotten so far off my branch, but it was okay. It was just a couple commits to cherry pick. They were both small. So there's 2 new PRs related to permitting. One is just a migration that was waiting for that big PR anyways, and one is some feedback you asked for from vacation.
Okay.
And so those are ready to go too. And today's big task, because I have a lot of open, non-distracted time today, is to do the whole rename from authorization to inspection for permit stuff.
Exciting. Cool. All right, Gustavo, over to you.
Okay, so this is what I've done. Now we are able to deploy our build to test flight either by creating a release or manually using the DH commands on our local machine. So all thanks to the great teamwork efforts from Josh, right? To me, yesterday was really fun. So almost all these issues were found in the previous build. They have been resolved. I mean, I thought over resolved until I found out that one of them, the barcode scanning crash, was a stubborn one. So it seems to work well when debugging, but not when we compile the code for release. But I figured out what was causing this crash and resulted in a branch that I will be merging into the base branch soon. So the app, I must say, is looking good so far. Soon it'll get to the level we expect it to be. With Josh sparking ideas, I think so. So what I'll be doing next, my plan today is to track down bugs in the app, and overall, I think we're making very good progress.
All right. Gustavo, when do you think we will start to see some tablet improvements coming in and merging?
Let me see. Let me come up with an estimate. Probably within the next few days. I mean, most likely next week for sure.
Cool. Yeah, if we have like small incremental improvements, I don't think we need to wait for those to all be done at one time or anything. And so, yeah, I think between bugs that will continue to be helpful. And then what is the state of Android releasing right now?
So for the Android release, we are able to deploy locally. I still need to focus on putting it out to the store. So if that's one of the priorities, I'll just make it a priority so we can start testing as soon as possible.
Yeah, so let's go Android release, just whatever we can do that's sort of fastest there. If that's we need to ask you to do it, whatever, that's fine. So Android release, and then which Ivan has something working because there's a beta version in the Play Store. So we might need to do very little there. Android release, and then bugs, and then tablet. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. So let me take notes and I'll just make sure to address those issues in that order.
And then I'm around all day if you need anything.
Sure, I'll let you know on the chat. So it's a good thing to know what we're doing right now. But so far, I feel like this is going pretty well. So.
Perfect. That sounds great. All right, I'll see you all online.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.